during the proposal. So I could say many, many sweet things. I could also lie a lot and say whatever I wanted. But Elliott elevated us all that day, and I want her to do that more. I'm so glad she's here, and I look forward to many more years.
Sue's not here because she's not feeling well, but I'm pretty sure I don't have her permission to propose to me. I can check for you. But I'm thinking no. One of the cool things about residency is you always find exactly what you need at the right time. So earlier this week, I had no idea what this piece was. Kind of loose, associative kind of essay thing, but now I absolutely know it is the prose version of the Zuihitsu. So now it's a formal piece. A poetic line. A line like the tightrope between the twin towers, the one with the Frenchman all mania and magic, the line between a poem that's good and a poem that's great. Words teeter along that balancing point, that tipping point, that moment the puppet becomes a real boy, the moment form's armor becomes living skin, you find you can't help but reach to touch clay, at the moment it lumbers off Gollum, immense forehead branded with a single perfect letter that bestows soul. And isn't the defining act of poetry to bestow upon words a soul? A soul that, in a good poem, you can almost measure in its depth and heft and opacity, and there's a solid pleasure to be able to measure, but then other times you find yourself inside a soul, looking back out at yourself, at your world, and that is a great shock. A great shock, too, to be driven over words so sharp that reading across them opens you, reveals the blooming tumor you've always feared you'd find. Great is not a question of good plus a little night music. Good poems raise and answer questions as image or metaphor or objective correlative. But to raise a question and leave it hanging, knot it into a noose, make readers both hangman and hanged as they become more complicit with each word they consume. To refuse questions that beg answers that beg for a question. To give the truth but not what it means. To have a how so urgent that the why is unnecessary. To have these is to have words that justify the brain having evolved language. Highly quotable lines. Lines that make sense of the world, that get cited and copied and written as consolation to friends. Hallmarks, each and all, of solid poetic goodness. Quotable lines, so much prettier than the pale, quivering jelly that is a line from a great poem ripped from its shell. Show, don't tell, what every poem does to be good. But every rule can be shredded over the greater of poems that tell exactly whatever the hell they need to tell and show only how to need.